myself. My name is Casilda, one of the recipients of the Ignacy Scholarship in 2019. And currently, I'm pursuing a master's degree in food technology and human nutrition at the University of Agriculture in Kraków, Poland. And I also would like to say thank you to the A1 team for this opportunity that enabled me to share one or two things I know from our today's topic, particularly about scholarship. So without any further ado, let's begin to the seminar. This title is How to Set Target and Conquer Them. So our today's seminar will consist of several topics, from the purpose of why we want to get a scholarship, and to the types of the scholarship. Okay, so now about the purpose. Why we should know our purpose to achieve the scholarship. So knowing your purpose, especially in my opinion, is a crucial starting point you should carefully consider. In this case, you have to know why you want to do this. Why I should take this chance. For me, it is about greater knowledge and insight the scholarship could offer me. So by having the opportunity, I could have more access in knowing the education system abroad, especially here in Poland, and know how Poland process the foods, because I'm food technology, so I'm interested in that particular topic about the foods, because they only have limited sources. So I want to know how they process the foods they have, including the technologies and policies they have that may not be found in Indonesia. So basically, it's about like your fields that you may not find in our country. Not only that, but also I have more opportunities to meet new friends from other countries around the world. For example, in Poland, when I took a language class in my scholarship, because it's obligation for us, I could meet a lot of friends from, for example, from Armenia, from Turkey, Spain, Mexico, Colombia, Ethiopia, Nigeria, and others. So we can have chances to meet all the peoples with all different backgrounds, so that we can have we can expand our mindset and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's why the purpose is incredibly important before we begin the journey of getting a scholarship. Okay, next. So where should we start? Where should we start our starting point to get the scholarship? I break down into several topics. Okay, the first is self-preparation. I wrote this self-preparation is a must. Why? Because being a scholarship hunter is not an easy call for all of us. First thing first, you must be ready to fail and easily to get up again. So basically, you must mentally prepared. Be ready to fail, ready to begin again. Why you have to be prepared for all the things that may happen ahead. So because it is not only us who want to get this golden opportunity, we must jump to a competition where there are thousands of students or people who want to who wish to grab this opportunity. So the second one is about financially prepared. So this one is a bit sensitive, but I assure you guys that this is really important. Well, we cannot deny that financially is also need to be considered, as I mentioned before, since we need to prepare several requirements, such as the first one, English proficiency course. This could be IELTS or TOEFL IBT, if I may suggest you, because TOEFL ITP in Europe, some of the universities and some of scholarships still use it, but not all of them. I mean, it's better to take IELTS or TOEFL IBT. And the second one is sworn translator. About the sworn translator, some documents needed to be translated into English. So based on my experience, you need at least 50 to 75,000 per page for translating the document. So I think it is better to prepare for the sworn translator. Okay, the next one is about scholarship preparation course. So this one is actually optional, but I took this option because at that time I thought that I needed assistance from my IELTS teacher at the time. So I took this course for about 2 months until I got this scholarship of the Ignacy Scholarship. So actually, if you want to choose, I mean, if you want to have like exercise by yourself, it's okay. But if you want to have an assistance, you better choose for the right one. For example, from scooters or from your IELTS experts. Okay, the next about the health examination. This is important, but not all scholarship ask the awardees or ask the candidates to provide this health examination. For example, for LPDP, you need to provide health examination for TBC, tuberculosis, if I'm not mistaken. So it needs some money again. So I think it's better to prepare all the things before you want to start. Okay, the next one is starting to write A to Z plan. Actually, I completely understand that we have highlighted some scholarship to be our dream ones, but the reality sometimes is not always the same as our desire. So still, I highly suggest you to write a plan. List your dream scholarship. At least you have 3 to 5 scholarships that you want to apply for, just in case you do not make it for the first one. In addition, write them is also aim to know their specific requirements needed. So it's because the scholarships have different requirements. So you better know which one needs the motivation letter and which one needs the research plan, and so on and so forth. So you can prepare them in advance. So I have few tips to do it. The first one is looking for the scholarship information through your friends, lecturers, the internet, seniors, and others, because most of us miss the opportunity of the scholarship. For example, my scholarship. When I applied for my scholarship, I think people didn't know much about it, didn't know much about the information of the Ignacy Scholarship. But this year, because I am the member of the PPI Polandia, and I have an obligation to take care of the candidates. So I'm like administrator of the WhatsApp and Telegram groups. So I know that it's more than 2,000 applicants for this year, compared to the previous year, which was my year. It's only about not more than 600, I think. So it's better to not miss any opportunity in front of you. Next one is the suggestion website. You can either search for these opportunities via website. For example, this one, I wrote Aulia.com because based on my experience, I found a lot of opportunities about scholarships, internships, and others from this website. Or you can find the information from Instagram accounts on scooters, from Guru Beasiswa, PPI Polandia, because we also have the program which gives the information about the scholarship. You can also find it on Folari, PPI Dunia, and others. So the next is about the English proficiency. Why I wrote English proficiency is the key, because if you already have the score that that is necessary to apply, for example, the IELTS is 6.5 or 7, you can apply for any scholarships that you want because you already passed the key. One of the most important thing is this one, but unfortunately, most of us frequently underestimated this requirement because we think that, okay, we used to this language, we used to speak in English and others and so on and so forth, but actually this one is different because this one is aimed to pursue a scholarship. So it's like academic things, not like casual things in our daily basis. Okay, so the first one is IELTS, International English Language Testing System. Maybe you guys already know about it. So based on my experience, I took 2 until 3 months to learn IELTS until I get 7 band for the score. So you better take it into account for the IELTS because it's completely different from TOEFL. If you want to take it, you have to spend like 2 until 6 months. It depends on your English basic skill. The next one is TOEFL IBT. Maybe you already know about it. It's different from ITP, like we usually know. So IBT is just like IELTS, but you talk to computer, so it's like internet basic test. So based on my experience, I learned IELTS from taking the course. I took an IELTS course in Malang for about 2 months, and I learned by myself for a month. So it's 3 months for me to learn IELTS. And you can also learning by yourself. So we already have a lot of platforms offered by the internet. You can also surf on the internet on the website. I actually have the website that I could suggest you to check. So its name is IELTSlist.com. It's EALTSLEZ.com. And another one is IELTSfocus.com. So 2 of them really did help me to achieve my dream score of IELTS. So you better check them if you want to learn by yourself or if you want to have more knowledge of IELTS. And as I mentioned before, that it depends on your basic knowledge in English. So I couldn't say it should be 3 months or others, but it depends on your skill, your previous skill in English. All right, the next one is beautify your curriculum vitae or CV. This is other essential thing about the requirements to apply a scholarship. This is extremely necessary to attract the reviewers. So basically, it is about what you have done during your study or work before applying the scholarship. The reviewers will look at what you have done through your CV. It can be your contribution in research project, voluntary activities, your outstanding marks, like research achievements, organizations, and etc. And please write as wise as possible and no longer than 2 pages. Because if you write too long, the reviewers will feel like kind of bored or not interested in reading your CV because it's too much to read. So I think 2 pages and write the important ones, the most important ones is preferable compared to write all the things that maybe you miss something that is important. So I think it's better to write as short, as clear as possible for the CV. For the example, you can find the CV on the internet. There are a lot of CV examples on Google, or maybe you can find others from your seniors who already got a scholarship. Okay. The next one is motivation letter. Preparing your motivation letter. So, as its name, it's about your motivation in pursuing the scholarship that you want. Okay, so the format may vary, but the most important ones, if I may suggest you, are to write down what, why, and how. So what is like, what have you done during your study? And why is, why do you want to study in your field? And why this scholarship? And how is, how can you achieve your goals during and after the study? I mean, after the master's degree or PhD? And how can you assure them that you deserve this scholarship? Okay, next is write your highlights. Why? Because highlights will help you to break down your ideas. So to make it clear, I will give you an example from my motivation letter that I used to apply to Wageningen University and research in the Netherlands. At that point, I used this motivation letter and I got the letter of recommendation. Letter of acceptance. So here I put what is my major and etc. And then the background of the study, why food analogy attract me, and so on and so forth. The next one is about what I have done during my study regarding the food analogy, I mean related to the food analogy. So this one can assure the reviewer that I deserve a place in this university. The next one is about the facility of the university. Why I want to study in this university, and how can this university give us our goals during the study and after the study. Okay, this is the end. I say like why I want to study here, why Wageningen University, and you explain as clear as possible, as short as possible. Okay, the next one is about research plan, because as I mentioned before, that not all scholarship need the motivation letter. Some of them want us to provide research plan. So generally, it is about your theme of your future thesis. You have to determine the topic you want to focus on during study, and after that, you can conduct a small research to support the topic you want or the topic you've chosen. It is about the methods and other things that needed. And then you can write as clear as possible, and don't forget to follow the rules and the formats of the research plan, because every scholarship has different formats, so you have to follow them. You can also insert charts and or flow diagrams. It's better because it can gain scores from your proposal. At this point, I follow the rules of the Ignacy Scholarship. I inserted the charts or flow diagrams to my research plan so that the reviewers would better understand what we wrote, because not all of them from our fields. So maybe some of them from the electrical engineering. So I'm from food technology. So I want to make them to understand what I wrote in my research plan. Okay, so this is the example of my thesis proposal that I used to apply for the Ignacy Łukasiewicz Scholarship Program. So this is actually I've only followed the format of the scholarship. So the first one is the theme. I chose this theme and the concept, and then the research problem. What kind of things that I want to examine in this research, and also the questions here, the problems here, and where I found the data. So data collection and data analysis. This is this is not the format I edited by myself voluntarily, because I wanted them to know more in details about my research plan. So it depends on your scholarship and their format. Okay, the next one, the last one, is the letter of recommendation. Okay, this one is also need to be considered as important, since your lecturers, professors, or supervisors who know you well will give you some kind of testimony about you during their work with you. So I suggest you from now on, you have to broaden your relation, especially with your professors or lecturers or your bosses. If you are not working for them, it's better for you, because they can give you like honest testimony about your performance during your work. It is preferable if you ask for recommendation from the ones who know you so well. For example, here I put a professor or lecturer, because at the time I still didn't have a job, so I tried to connect with my lecturers again at the time. So I tried to connect with my internship supervisor, my undergraduate thesis supervisor, and other lecturers that had like connection with me, like close connection with me. Okay, so next, please ask them to divide the letter of recommendation into 3 main categories. The first one is your personality. The second one, academic, and the third one is non-academic. Why should we divide into 3 main points? Because it will help the lecturers or professors to break down the ideas. So they will write the testimonies you need, and it will cover anything you need. So for example, for the personality, it may be like you are honest person, and etc. About the academic, it could be about your GPA and about your thesis. And the next one, for the non-academic, it could be your organization, about like competition outside the academic condition. So it's really important to break down into 3 categories like this. So this is the example of letter recommendation that you can ask from your supervisor, your thesis, your research professor, internship supervisor, and etc. Okay, so this is a bonus for you. So there are a lot of scholarships you can apply. So what are those? I divided into 2 categories. The first one is IELTS score, and the second one is work experience. So this is I'm not going to mention anything, so I just like skip it. So this is these are the 2 of the scholarship, which IELTS or TOEFL is not mandatory, and this one also. For the ISDB, I applied last year. Yes, last year for the ISDB. So you must note that the excellent GPA, it means that you have to have more than 3.5 of your GPA to apply to this scholarship, and it's preferable to have the work experience. And for the scholarship, they require IELTS score less than 6. I'm not going to mention all, but I'm going to focus for the Ignacy. So for the Ignacy, is fully funded, exclude the flight ticket to Poland. So we have to pay for ourselves for the ticket, only the ticket to Poland. So the IELTS is 5.5, and other kind of English proficiency you can see in the rules. And you need also the thesis proposal, as I mentioned before. And the next is Stipendium Hungaricum. is like only six for the IELTS, and double IDP is 500. You can also find two other scholarship like this. And this is also Fulbright, is to America. And surprisingly, student in Netherlands, it's only 6.0, but I suggest you to have better than 6 because they also take this as consideration for them to pass you to the next step of the scholarship selection. Okay, so this is from Taiwan. If you want to pursue scholarship in the Asia, so you can choose this one. And this one is the scholarship that require IELTS score 6.5. So in here, I want to focus on FLIR-WAS because I almost applied for FLIR-WAS and not many people recognize this scholarship. So basically, the scholarship offered by the Belgian government, and it opens from December to February. So you better prepare from now if you want to apply for FLIR-WAS. It is fully funded and it's really good because you will have your study in 2 universities in Belgium. It's a really interesting one, but unfortunately, it only offers several fields, so not all fields could apply for the scholarship. So if you want to apply, just check on the internet about FLIR-WAS in Belgium. Next is LPDP, as you know, and Maxed for the 6.5. And this one is scholarships that require work experience, as I know that DAAD dot post Germany needs 2 years work experience, and Chevening from England, from UK, it also needs 2 years work experience. So for those who already have work experience, you better try to apply for these scholarships. And also New Zealand scholarships. So basically, for the scholarships, you may see that the awardees are always fine and happy in Instagram or others and so on and so forth. But behind that, we have our different struggles to achieve a point that we are standing now. So every person has different starting points. So please do not compare yourself to others. Just focus on yourself, focus on your goals, and try to prove that you deserved it. You deserve the scholarship, you deserve your dreams, and please don't forget to be happy always. Jangan lupa bahagia. Bizania.